you doing?
I'm doing well. I guess we can go ahead and get started. We never know if people are going to be watching this live or recording afterwards.
Right.
Um, so I think most everybody knows your family. They know you, but let's get just a little introduction from you personally as to what you do and your family business and all that.
Okay. Well, I'm Amber Fletcher, and I am currently the head of marketing and event operations for the iconic Fletcher's Corny dogs. My family's company started at the State Fair of Texas in 1942. It began with my grandfather, who, he and his brother came up with this idea of this fried food on a stick, and just, 78 years later, here we are. And very proud to be, part of this legacy.
Awesome. So, you mentioned your role in marketing, but, I kind of feel like, from what I've noticed anyway, that it's even taken a step further than that. You kind of become the face of Fletcher's, which I guess is mostly marketing, right?
Yeah, well, it's where being a millennial pays off, right? Because I love social media. So I'm always on social media, and I love talking with people and networking and communicating. So naturally, I'm just out there a little bit more. My cousin and my brother are very heavily involved in the company. I don't even think my cousin has an Instagram. My brother does, and he's active, but I'm the one I'm so chatty. And so that's why I think I'm on it a little bit more. I love the company, and I feel very honored that people, would think that, I represent the company. So
I imagine I really can appreciate, the steps that you've taken as a company, as an individual, as far as the part you play in our community and our traditions, our memories. But coming to just current events here, kind of walk us through what yourself and your company has gone through with this pandemic.
It's devastating, not just to concessions or seasonal operators. The entire world, everyone is losing jobs, losing wages, losing loved ones. It's been very devastating. My father passed away in 2017, which left the company to my brother and I to really step up. And so with 2018 and 2019, we began to branch out and do more things. And with each year, each month, we have been increasing what we do in the community, which has been amazing. We've been dreaming about it our whole lives. And then 2020 hits, sky's the limit. And then this world crisis hits. And while it's personally devastating to us and, the company, we can only do what we can do, what we can control, and how we react. So, when it first started, it was devastating. We lost events we had been working very hard to get. We were very disappointed that, the Byron Nelson got postponed. We were still looking forward to it, but, to respect social distancing and everything, of course we comply with everything. We shut all of our events down, which, a lot of those employees relied on those events for money. So as a company, we've talked with our employees, how can we help? What can we do? Do you need toilet paper? Do you need some financial assistance? What can we do to help those in our inner circle right now? And so that's what we can control, and that's what we can do, and that's how we're reacting. We wanted to have some type of an event to just kind of help feed those that have lost their jobs. But as you've seen, every day new restrictions have come out, which now it's just, we would never want to do anything to harm anyone. And of course, Fletcher's always draws a crowd, so we wouldn't want to put anyone at risk. And so we're just, we're staying home like we're ordered to, and we're just doing what we can with what we have now. Hoping and praying that in a few months we can get back to, event season, and I'm sure everyone's going to be very hungry and thirsty when we're allowed to get back outside the house.
Definitely. In fact, as this morning, as time was coming for us to talk, I was thinking, what? I miss Fletcher's, and what way can we get them out there, or what event can we do? And then I thought, just like you just said, but you can't do that, because if Fletcher's opens up, that's going to be like a madhouse. There's not going to be a little line with 6 feet and all that. So right now, I mean, I know, like you said, your company's been doing a lot with growing and doing events and so forth, because at first it was just the fair, right? You would do the fair, and then the rest of the year.
We participated at Fair Park 4th. We did that for a number of years, which it's still at Fair Park, but it's not the state fair. So Fair Park had some events we participated in 15 or 16. They did a summer adventures, which was the whole summer that we were there. It was such a fun event, but I think the issue there was just they didn't get enough people out. You know, it's Texas in July, but essentially Fletcher's was just at the State Fair of Texas since the early 90s. Now, before the 90s, we had over 50 franchises throughout Texas and some other states.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm. So that was an adventure that my dad went on. He and my mother, they opened up a few stores in some malls, and then they got some drive-thrus and ended up franchising. It grew so big so fast, and then I was young, but I was told that there was a huge economic crisis, oil crisis in the early 90s, and things just essentially dissolved. And so my brother remembers that. He's a little bit older, and so he's got those fond memories of it. But essentially, the last 30 years, we've just been at the state fair, which is why when my father passed, because he didn't want to do anything but the state fair. You know, he was in his 70s, he had some health issues, and he always said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But my brother and I just had so many ideas for things we wanted to do, and we didn't want to step on his toes, you know, in the last 10 years of his life. And so after he passed, you know, we had about a year of mourning and just kind of spent time with the family. But then, you know, as soon as 2018 hit, you know, we were like, okay, it's our turn. What do we do? What does it look like? And we love events, and we love corny dogs, and we love food. And so it was just applying to events, and we got a food truck. You know, we've been talking about a food truck since, you know, 2000. And so seeing dreams happen one after another has been amazing, not just for the Fletcher family, but the response from the community has just been, I feel really honored that people, you know, they say they want Fletcher's outside at the fair, but did they really? And I mean, they welcomed us with open arms, so it's been great.
That's really awesome. And I definitely see things, you know, just really on pause for everybody, because my hopes is to be positive, and that we get back to normal just as soon as we can really get a grip on all this, right? It really came in waves, as far as at first there was something going on with this disease, this virus, but people were like, that's the other side of the world. Then it's all of a sudden here in the U.S., it's, you know, in the East Coast or whatever.
Right.
Then was a couple folks in Texas, and now it's just feels like it's just really hit its peak. And I hopefully, you know, by the next month's end or next month, that will be the peak, and then we can see that go down and hopefully be under control. Are y'all having to make some major plans and so forth as far as the next couple of months? Are you taking it kind of day by day? How are you managing things?
I mean, you know, you can only take life day by day, but events from now until about the end of May have been canceled or postponed. And so with this time, we are just looking at, you know, getting caught up on some office work. What are some events we want to get in that we haven't thought of yet? We have events scheduled for June, July, and August. And so, you know, fingers crossed that we are able to still participate in those events when this does, you know, things go back to normal. You know, it's really just holding on to that, you know, we hope this is temporary. And what can we control? Again, you know, the family and I, my brother and my mother and I, we've been spending a lot of time together, which before we worked so much, we didn't get to just actually sit down and enjoy each other as a family because we were so busy. So we've got some, some good has definitely come out of it.
That's great, and that's the kind of attitude I hope to spread with this interview and a lot of things that I'm doing is to focus on the positive, take advantage of the time, and that way we don't, fall under being apathetic because we've just so worn out by it, and we don't miss again opportunities to, for example, like you're saying, spend time with the family. Are there any other words of encouragement, advice that you'd like people to hear?
Well, yeah, I think it's a good reminder that, this is very scary. It's very normal to feel scared because this has never happened before. The U.S. has not shut down like this before, and so that can be scary. But, somebody said to replace the word from, I'm stuck at home to I'm safe at home, to remind people that this is temporary, it will pass. Things may take time to go back to normal, or they may snap back. I think everyone's going to be so ready to get back outside and go live again. Everyone's going stir crazy. But, I think what's great about right now is we really get to reconnect with our families, our kids, our pets, write that book you've always wanted to write, or get a new exercise regimen. Just find something positive to, incorporate daily into your life. And before we know it, it'll be behind us, and hopefully we'll just learn from it, move on. Maybe we'll take some, hygiene, sanitation, lessons and move into the future. I know I'm ready to make some corny dogs. I haven't personally had one since February 29th, and it's killing me. So
wow.
I need to have a corny dog in an event. You know what I should do? I should go cook some anyways. Maybe I'll do like a live lesson on how to make corny dogs because I need to have one.
Definitely. I know I would tune in because you see my button here. I'm Team Fletcher's. I pulled it out of my collection just for you.
No, I love that. I'll have to get you one of our new ones.
I love it. But yeah, there's really been a new culture and tradition and connection between folks via Instagram and things like this. It's kind of inspired me to do this. I've seen, Robert Irvine do lives, influencers, just all sides of the spectrum. So I think that if you decided to do anything like that, we'd enjoy it.
Right. One thing I love is that, the foodie community, we're hungry people and we like to eat out, and not going to restaurants has been very challenging. But the way that restaurants have stepped up, like I'm out, in like the Roanoke area. And so there's a few good restaurants around here that, they're offering free delivery, they're offering booze, they're offering gift certificates. And so to see the restaurant industry step up has been amazing. I can't imagine the hit that, restaurants that operate daily are taking right now. But I know I'm doing my part in ordering out as much food as I can and just staying home.
And I'm glad you shared that. I couldn't have wished for better if I had prepped you for that, because that's really the attitude that I'm trying to keep and instill, because of course I want to be safe, but at the same time we got to eat, right? And why not at the same time support others? It's a really great message. But if there's anything else you'd like to share, like I've told my past couple of guests, wanting to keep this really short and sweet, get some positive messages out there. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
Just my brother and I are just so thrilled to be, carrying on the next generation of Fletcher's corny dogs. And, we really hope to make people happy with what we have planned for whenever this, I've been calling it the Corona coma, because everyone's just in a daze and a funk, and we're all stir crazy, and hopefully when this Corona coma is over, we've got some big plans to announce and some fun things that are going to happen, and we hope people will be pleased. So
I think they will, and I know personally I'm excited because, like you shared, one of my passions, one of the things I love most is being a foodie, getting out there to events and things like that. It really makes the everyday, more bearable when we're working and going through the trials and tribulations of life. We got to have those fun times when we can go out and just let loose and enjoy each other's company and food and so forth. But I really appreciate your time and your efforts in joining me today. I look forward to seeing, hopefully, that live video of you making some corny dogs. I know you probably have to keep a couple of secrets, but we'll enjoy what you can share. And hopefully I'll even see you for the annual corny dog eating contest around the 4th.
Yes, so we are still planning that. As far as we know, it's happening July 3rd at the Frisco Town Square is going to be the second annual Fletcher's Corny Dog Eating Contest. And how many did you eat last year? Was it?
It was 3.5.
Okay, so you have to do 4.
I do. I need to step it up at least a little bit.
Did you hear the kid that won last year? He said he prepped for it by eating Sonic corn dogs. That's ready that every day he was just eating Sonic corn dogs. Funniest thing.
You broke up a little bit there. Do you mind repeating that? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Ty Johnson that won last year, he said he prepared for the event by eating Sonic corn dogs every day.
Oh, okay. See, that might have been my Achilles heel because I'm a good eater. I mean, I always joke that I'm got a sumo wrestler physique, but I didn't prep because I was scared of maybe not being not having an appetite. Because I was like, if I eat corn dogs every day and then I have to eat a bunch of it at the same time, that might hurt me. But maybe I'll go the other route. I appreciate you sharing that with me so I can strategize.
Well, I know you said you wanted mustard. So is it to dip the corny dog in the mustard so that you can eat it better, just because that's how you have to have the Fletchers?
A little bit of both, because I think that's the only thing that slowed me down a little bit is because when I've ever eaten a Fletcher, it's always been with mustard. And so it's a little bit of both. So hopefully we can include that this year.
It'd be funny, to make it even more challenging, where everyone has to have ketchup on it.
Oh, well, I did have some really tough competition, so maybe throwing some twist in there, something new would be fun.
Yeah. Well, I wish you the best and staying safe. And I've just been home. I work out of my office at the house, and I've got, I'm sure you've seen on my Instagram, I have 3 dogs. And so I've got one. She sleeps on my lap whenever I'm working. Let's see that.
Oh.
And so I've got my dogs, and we're just hanging out and doing office work and ready to get out of the house.
Yeah, I'm basically in the same scenario because they had me come home and start working from home this past week, and I took a couple days off this week. But other than that, I'll be at my computer with my 2 dogs. I have a Jack Russell and a Rat Terrier.
Aww.
And they are loads of fun. Aside from when the Jack Russell decides that he wants to be so bossy. He actually, if I tell my oldest, which should be the alpha, to do something, he'll go and bark at him. I'm like, I don't need your help. They're crazy.
Have you been outside more with them?
I have tried to go out, but I'm trying to kind of give people their space. So if I don't see anybody out there, I'll go and play with them a little bit. But if I see somebody coming, I'll come in so that, again, they don't feel,
right,
like they don't have the space or what have you. Right. So yeah, my pets are my fur babies is actually what I refer to most as, will love when I can start taking them to dog parks and longer walks.
Yeah.
But I want to wish you the same. Stay healthy, stay positive, and we look forward to all the exciting things that come from you and your company going forward.
Thank you so much. Well, I hope to see you on July 3rd.
Definitely. I'll see you then, if not sooner.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye for now.